One person can only use their hands, but opened the floor of the vault. He stole huge amounts of money. How he did it? Joaquin is a senior computer engineer. He lost his wife and children and was in a wheelchair after an accident many years ago. Since then he is always sad. One day he met mother and daughter. Joaquin does not have much income. Should have rented the second floor. Berta is a beautiful woman and also very agile. Just her daughter is a bit autistic. She also thoughtfully celebrated her birthday party for Joaquin. They live in harmony with each other. Joaquin is no longer alone. The day he heard the noise of the next room, he took out the receiver. He heard someone mention him next door. Then Joaquin built a wiretapping device. Every day he opened to listen again. He didn't stop recording keywords. For example, name, date and same information. Not satisfied with eavesdropping, so he made a hole in the wall. Put one end of the wire through it. In the evening he sat and analyzed it carefully. They only work in the evening. In the morning he drank coffee that Berta made and felt full of life. I told her to show her some interesting things later. Joaquin went back to the basement to review the video and confirm these people already was having a plan. Joaquin watched intently, and someone who did not expect to appear in the video. That was Berta. She approached Joaquin to prevent them from being discovered. And the big guy is her boyfriend. Joaquin was disappointed, but tried not to show up in front of Berta. He watched in the video they were digging holes. Joaquin also discovered Berta's autistic daughter is always talking to his dog. So he made a wiretapper on a dog leash. At this moment, he also knows the action day of the next crowd is the 24th. That big guy is a cruel person. If he knows someone reveals any information he will use a screwdriver to handle the person immediately. Joaquin was so scared that she wanted to call the police. Now my big name tells that person. Even if you're a cop, I'm not afraid. I was got the sheriff's backing. As a result, he was killed by the big guy. He pretended nothing happened and drank with Berta. But he left sleeping pills in Berta's wine glass. Then he gave her an injection of sleeping pills. Use a rope tied to the bed. It turned out that the other man dug tunnels to rob banks. And even practiced how to open safes. The big guy said to his subordinates, 2 safes 707 and 748 were not touched, because the sheriff said it was the money of the drug dealer. Whoever touches it dies. They even prepared bombs to explode the bank floor. But this tunnel passed through the Joaquin's house. So he came up with an idea. Berta said the big guy is not a bad man. Joaquin showed her the clip that the big guy is a murderer. Berta was very scared. Joaquin had lame legs. Want to break their plan in the middle. He practiced money-taking action. He chiseled the floor and even installed a soundproof lid. He told Berta that he wanted to give a taste of your own medicine. He is also very confident. At the time he was about to sleep. Then the bandits had something unexpected. The tunnel they dug was blocked by a water pipe. Because the drawing is inaccurate, there must be a detour. Plan to move to 25th. Capital must use a small car to store money. They took out a sealed box again. This also caused Joaquin's robbery plan to fall apart. He has to find another way. Finally he punctured his floor. After checking the camera and looking closely at the tunnel, he blocked his home hole. But danger was coming. At the time he was about to go home. At the end of the tunnel someone went down. But Joaquin quickly turned around and tried to crawl away. Silently lurked behind an abandoned tunnel. And used sandy soil for camouflage. Luckily they only came for a while and then left. Berta was still fast asleep with drugs. He breathed a sigh of relief. But Berta's daughter disappeared. He crawled down to the basement. She discovered the cave he dug. And she ran to the next house. In the house of the bandits, she quickly escaped. Sheriff appeared. He said to the big guy with a safe, he couldn't touch it. The patrol will go away that day. And he participated in this. You want something in the safe 115. The little girl was so tense right now that she couldn't even speak. After they left, the little girl returned. Joaquin touched the baby girl emotionally. The big man suddenly called Berta. Joaquin wanted to tell her to hide it for him. She didn't want to, so Joaquin turned on a recording of the dog with her daughter. The big guy used to do bad things with her daughter. Berta was deeply distressed. Joaquin said she would avenge her daughter. So Berta concealed Joaquin. Joaquin once again injected her to make her fall asleep. Meanwhile, the bandits began to act. Joaquin was about to interrupt. He went into the tunnel again, get the dynamite on the bank floor, then put it next to the water hose. He hit it with a hammer. After a while, the floor was punctured. He crawled up. He opened safe 748 with the money of the drug dealer. Inside there's a lot of cash. Then hurry back. Robbers prepare for bombs to explode. Joaquin quickly crawled back to the bank to hide. Closed the hole tightly. At this time, the water pipe begins to absorb water. The bandits also thought the bank's cave was caused by the explosion of their own. Then they robbed the safe. The big guy was very happy. At that time, the water pipe became more and more absorbent. The banker found it and sent it to the checker. After checking, they found the water hose was completely cracked and could not come out. Joaquin wants to save her, but this will expose him. So he decided to give up. Put the lid on tightly and let the person drown. The water in the cellar began to seep out. The bandits in the bank have no way out either. Joaquin quickly solved basement. Then bring the money home. The bandits chose to open the safe with an alarm to survive. Joaquin hid money in the closet. He injected Berta again with a sleeping pill. Then take a bath to clean the dirt on your body. Then the police arrived. Joaquin told the police that a water leak in his basement was avoided. But the sheriff saw him. He was talking to the big guy. Then the police chief brought the police to Joaquin's house to ransack, but found nothing. The sheriff was still suspicious of Joaquin, so he left his phone number and temporarily left. But the big guy also pretends to be a cop to Joaquin's house. The sheriff learned that the drug oligarch's money had been stolen. He was very angry and told the big name to quickly find it. Joaquin secretly sent a message to the sheriff. The big guy pulled out a pistol to ransack Joaquin's house. Joaquin said she didn't know anything. The big guy brutally beat him. At that moment, his phone rang. The big guy turned on the receiver. It turned out to be the sheriff. He opened the door and asked him why he had Joaquin's number and tied up the sheriff. When he was about to kill Joaquin again called the name of one of the bandits. He said there is cooperation between them. He talks about the plan to dig a tunnel to rob a bank. But no one knows these stories. At this point, he began to suspect his juniors. Joaquin told him to open the cupboard. He left stuff here. Then the big guy got the watch his junior told himself to lose. The juniors could not explain, so he went first. After a while of shooting each other, only the big name remained. But his gun is out of ammo. At this time, Berta had regained consciousness and took a gun on the floor to shoot and kill the big name to avenge his daughter. The three of them embraced. The sheriff, after standing up, made a contract with Joaquin. He will dispose of the body, but have to divide half of the money with him. Joaquin took the footage from his basement and threatened the sheriff. And he threatened mother and daughter. To save people, Joaquin gave him money. The sheriff took some cake and left, but had an accident. Why? Because the cake in the jar was once the cake that Joaquin wanted to use to let her dog go peacefully. The sheriff's wife reminded him, "Have some sweets, you have low blood pressure." Joaquin used his intelligence to successfully survive and have one wife and one child.